Thank you so much for coming. Hi, everybody getting in. You're coming in. Nice. Thank you so much for coming to the comedy series. We got some fun people. Hi, how are you? Very well. This is what I'm doing with my life, and you're there watching it happen. Does that feel good? What do you do for a living? Is to tech recruiting. So maybe I'll get a job from you later today because I'm a brown person and we like tech. That's what we do. We're all computer savvy people. Do you have a bug on your computer? We'll fix it. We'll take it out. Do you have a bug in your system, in your body? We're doctors. We'll take those out too. Any bugs, we deal with them. That's us. Except for spiders. Too many legs. Thank you. Tech recruiting, that's fun. I used to be a soccer player. Not a soccer player. I used to be actually, my name, Omid Singh, as you can see on that poster, is correct. There is another Omid Singh in this world. He's in Iran, and he plays professional soccer. And in Iran, there's not like a whole lot of communication with Iran and the internet. So they have my picture on this guy's profile. So I am also a professional soccer player in Iran. Omid Singh, I've scored 0 goals in 3 seasons. But I'm thinking about transferring to another team. So when I Google myself, I just get that guy. So it's pretty impressive. But before I heard about this guy, I used to be a soccer coach for little kids, 4-year-olds. And you don't need to know much about soccer to coach little kids. And one day, my best player, Luca, he came up to me and he said, "Coach, what are you eating?" And I said, "I'm eating peanuts, Luca." And he was like, "Oh, I've never had a peanut before." So I said, "Luca, have some peanuts." I gave him some peanuts and his face started swelling up. And then he was like, "I'm allergic." So I turned to my assistant coach and I told her to go get the EpiPen. If you're not familiar with how an EpiPen works, there's a yellow side that has a needle, and then there's a blue side where you're supposed to put your thumb. My assistant coach put her thumb on the yellow side and stabbed Luca with the blue side. All the epi, which I don't know what it's short for. Anybody know? Epinephrine. Thank you. I only look like a doctor. All the epinephrine went into my assistant coach's finger, and she started jiggling. Luca didn't make it to practice the next day because he died. Oh. No, I saved his life. I sucked all the epinephrine out of my assistant coach's finger, and then I spit it in Luca's mouth. After 5 minutes, when that didn't work, I decided to use the second EpiPen. Thank you, 2 people. Very sweet of you. They're like, we get it. We got it. Oh, it's a beautiful day here in Santa Monica, wouldn't you say? We took the metro here. Anybody take the metro? Metro's nice, all right? Where'd you take the metro from, sir? From Palms. Well, we're 1 stop away from you. We're Culver City. Do you want to take the same metro back at the end of the show? You want to hang out, keep the show going forever? What do you do for a living in Palms? Oh, works in Santa Monica, lives in Palms. Living the dream, as we would say. Do you park your car in Venice? What do you do? You don't have a car, of course not. The metro. We have already established this. What do you do? Software engineer. Could you meet this lady right here? You need to talk to her. She can probably recruit you for some big companies. That's what this is. This is a networking event. If there's anybody interested in tech, please talk to... Don't talk to her. She's not interested. Send her a LinkedIn request. Hi, people outside the barrier. Do you not have your ID? You're welcome to come in if you have an. If you don't have any form of identification, well, then you're going to have to enjoy the show from outside the barrier, like some sort of, I don't know, Walking Dead, Game of Thrones situation where we're trying to keep the dead out. I hope everyone's caught up on Game of Thrones, right? Everybody caught up? I can't believe they killed Ned. That's pretty crazy. This guy and I, we're perfect. I'm a brown person. Hey, thank you. I'm 2 types. Dad's Indian, mom's Iranian. So technically, I'm Pakistani. I'm an American. Yes, we look like this too. Thank you. I was born in San Diego. I just made it. Could have been a Mexican, but my parents crossed the border that day. Got that blue passport. Let me hear you if you got that blue passport. My full name is very brown. It's Omid Nayab Singh. Omid means hope because my parents were hoping I'd be an engineer. Nayab means rare, and it's rare to find an Indian Iranian who's not an engineer. Singh means lion, and they're still lying and telling their friends I'm an engineer. I live with my sister and her husband because I'm doing very well. My sister married a Peruvian Indian. She is Indian Persian, so when they have kids, they're going to be medium spicy. I don't have any kids, even though I look like a father of 5. I really don't know how that happened. I do know what I would name my first son, though. Because my last name is Singh, I'd like to name him Martin Luther. And hopefully he'd have a son. We'd have a Martin Luther Singh Jr., you know? Hi, guys. Welcome to the show. Come on in if you want. There's plenty of seats. The water's nice. Give it up for our bartender, huh? Yeah. Well, you're there now, so if you want a drink, go get it from her. It'll be fun. I'm not a scary brown, just a hairy brown. I shaved this morning. I really don't know what to do anymore. I was at the airport, and I was on a plane. I was not the scariest person on the plane, actually. The pilot was. We were flying from Seattle down to Los Angeles, and halfway through the flight, the pilot gets on the intercom, and he goes, "We're going to have to land the plane in San Francisco. We're out of fuel." That's all he said. That was the whole announcement. So nonchalant, like we just ran out of pretzels. And immediately, the lady who was sitting next to me, she turns to me and goes, "Well, this is stupid. If the pilot lands the plane in San Francisco, I'm going to miss my connecting flight. This is going to ruin my entire day." And I turned back to her and I said, "Hey, the pilot just said that we're out of fuel. If he doesn't land the plane, you're going to miss the connection to the rest of your life." 20 minutes later, pilot gets back on the intercom, and he goes, "You know what? We're going to go for it." That's what a pilot said. Like some 4th and goal situation, and he's trying to take us to the playoffs next week. We're going to go for it. Immediately, everybody on the plane started cheering for the pilot. They're like, "Yay! He's going to go for it." And that's the only time I ever thought about taking over a plane. That was it, just that one time. It was cashing in my brown points, bum rushing that cockpit. You just read the news the next day. Terrorist saves 200 lives. I think. I'm not a terrorist. Just kidding. I did play one in a movie, though. I was in Argo. Yeah. I was extra number 6. And I always hated when people are like, "Were you one of the Canadians in Argo?" No, I was not one of the Canadians in Argo. I was one of the terrorists. I actually got bumped up to a featured extra because I was a smart brown one, because there's a scene that we were filming where a bunch of Iranians are running towards the American embassy in Iran in 1979. We shot it in Ontario, California. And while we were filming it, the prop department gave us all baseball bats. And they were like, "Okay, when we say action, just start running towards the embassy with your baseball bats." And I thought about that for a second. I was like, wait, this is supposed to be Iran in 1979? Well, we wouldn't have baseball bats then. I said that to somebody with an earpiece. He said it to somebody else, and they just hear, "Cut! If you got a baseball bat, turn it in." And I was like, yes, immediately. Terrorist number 6, I figured this one out. They bumped me up to a featured extra. I met Ben Affleck. He directed me in a scene. Every 3 months, I get a check for $35 as a residual. And that's a successful story. We're going to have a great show for you here tonight. We have 4 comics that are 5 days early. They're here for you on the 4th, not the 9th. They all made it here for you tonight. We're going to have an amazing show. You guys are a great crowd. If there's people outside that want to come in, there's still plenty of seats. All you need is your ID. If you don't have your ID, well, what are you doing out? Go home, fix your life. You know what I'm saying? Just joking. Let's welcome your first comic to the stage, a great friend of mine. Please put your hands together for Reem, everybody.
Keep it going for Omid, guys. Starting the show for us, competing with that sunset. That's great. I've never performed on a pier before. This is nice. This is weirder for me than it is for you. So if you guys could just laugh at everything I said, can we agree to that? Could you just laugh at everything the comics are going to say? Yes? Let me get some applause for that. Thank you. This lady raised her hand. She's like, "I will laugh. It is I." Raise the second hand. Put them together. It'll be great. There you go. This is fun. This is great. My crystals and I are very excited to be here, guys. I drove all the way from Hollywood. So thank you guys for driving through crazy Wednesday night traffic in LA, otherwise known as everyday traffic in LA, to be here. This is pretty important. Did you guys pay attention to this lineup? Did you see the names? We got Omid, Ehsan, Reem, Zahra, and Tehran. Very Middle Eastern names, right? On September 9th. Not the next show. For obvious reasons. Just saying. I'm just saying. We have nothing to celebrate that day. Omid's from Iran. My roommate is also from Iran, and I'm from Iraq. So whenever he pisses me off, I like to just invade his side of the apartment. My roommate's great. His name is Ash. My parents think her name is Ashley. My parents don't know I live with a guy. This really upsets my white friends when they find out that I have to lie to my parents at my age. They're like, wait, what? Wait, no, like, you need to tell them. Like, wait, what? No, like, you need to stand strong and you need to tell them. So I'm gonna have a gender reveal party. I'm just gonna get a bunch of balloons and like, it's a boy. And then get sent back to Iraq. I think that's how that works. My roommate's been doing this thing lately where he's just been eating all my food. You guys have all eaten your roommate's food, right? We've all done this. But there is an art form to eating somebody else's food, right? Like, you take a bite where there was already a bite. Or like, you eat the top layer. Or like, you convince them that they ate it when they were drunk. Strategic, right? But he's been doing this thing where he's just been like eating my entire takeout box and then like throwing it away. So like it makes me really mad, and like I was gonna tell him about it, but I'm a woman, so I'm passive aggressive. And instead, I just found out what he's allergic to, and I've been sprinkling this on top of all of my takeout. You guys don't groan because it's a lot harder to find penicillin than you think it is. He went to an escape room recently. Have you guys make some noise if you've been to an escape room? Yeah. I like the one lady in the back who just like raised her hand in support and just like put it back down and went back to texting. Nice. Excellent. Now I have to pick on you. What was the theme of your escape room? It was a detective one? Isn't that all escape rooms where you're a detective trying to figure it out? An old school detective. Okay, that's cool. That sounds decent enough. I wouldn't spend my money on that, but that's nice. So the theme of my roommates was, this is true. He was like, it was a drug den. He's like, so you go and like they've hidden drugs all around the apartment, and you have to like find them and flush them down the toilet before the cops get there. I was like, bro, are you sure this was an escape room? Or like some dude named Spider looking for his drugs? I was like, so what happened? Did you find the drugs? He's like, yeah, we got rid of them. We won. I was like, no, you lost. It's funny. Whenever my parents come to my apartment, I have to like muzzleify everything. It's true. I have to like hide all the incriminating evidence, like alcohol and Christmas decorations. And like my parents, this is the thing. I'm 28 years old, and this is my actual life. Like they don't even know I drink. They think I go to Vegas for the buffets. Like this is. And like I used to do this thing where I would save guys' names in my phone as girls' names, you know, up until last year when gender became a preference. So my dad would now see my friend calling, and he's like, "Who's Adam?" I was like, "They is my friend." He's like, "Is it a boy or a girl?" I'm like, "It's a construct." You guys, my parents named me Reem. Which, like, in English means to either puncture something at a high velocity or a bulk amount of paper. I asked them why. They're like, we did not want you to get bullied. So we chose something aggressive, but also office appropriate. On top of that, my full name is Reem Idan, which Americans pronounce as Ramadan. Like I said, I'm Iraqi. I'm also Muslim and Arab. The only thing scarier than being those three things in America today is that I also look Mexican. No te preocupes, todo está bien. My parents are actually the ones from Iraq. I was born in Colorado, which is why I pronounce it Iraq instead of Iraq. Because I learned about my home country on CNN. Here's the thing. I'm not even like super religious per se. I'm more spiritual, which I think makes me like a Muslim millennial. Um, like I straight up intermittent fast more than I fast Ramadan. And I meditate more than I pray. But I only eat pork when I'm drunk. So I feel like that counts for something. Does anyone out here like not eat pork? Yeah? Religious reasons? No, you just don't like it? Anyone else religiously don't eat pork? There's a few of us, right? This is the thing. Like, I don't eat pork either because like it doesn't get me drunk. But the worst thing is like when you're eating something like delicious and you find out it has pork in it, right? Like I was in Spain and I was eating croquetas. And someone was like, no, Reem, stop. That has pork in it. And at first I was like, oh God, no. But then like depending on how delicious it is, you start to have like a philosophical debate with yourself. I was like, do we know it was pork though? Like, also like I didn't know when I started. Like, does it still count? And like, if I like wash it down with alcohol, does it kind of like cure the pork away? My parents, when I was young, the saddest day of my life, they found out that marshmallows have gelatin in them, which is a byproduct of pork. And they sat me down, and I was a fat little kid, because born in America. And they're like, darling, no more marshmallow for you. I was like, cool. Well, I'm Christian now, so they got more benefits. My parents are cool. They were even okay with me doing stand-up until they realized I was being serious. They're like, who is going to want to marry a comedian? I was like, you're right, I should probably do this full-time. I tried to get my parents to come see my comedy show. I was like, you know, guys, tonight, after dinner, we could go see my stand-up. They're like, we could. I was like, wait, where are we going? And they're like, we could. It's just Jeopardy is on at 8, and I wouldn't want to miss that. I did get them to come see one show. This is true. And I asked my dad what he thought of my performance, and he was like, darling, you are so smart. You did great. You should be a lawyer. Great. It's sometimes hard coming up here and making all these like Muslim jokes, especially when you see what's going on in the news these days, guys. But I think it's sad that the actions of one person can go on to have consequences for an entire group of people, right? It's kind of like how that one girl flushed her tampon down the toilet, and now we all have to see that sign everywhere we go. Like, I don't even watch the news anymore. I just have my 65-year-old Muslim father repeat stories about Trump without using offensive words that aren't approved. He'd be like, Reem, this Trump, he is disgusting. He's assaulting women, grabbing them by the front butt. See, this is the thing. I can't tell my parents when they say things like that. Like when my dad incorrectly uses the eggplant emoji when he makes baba ganoush, like, come over tonight. I'm like, no! Like my mom tries to order doggy style at In-N-Out. She's like, it's on their secret menu. No, it's not! Because immigrant parents will get mad at you for correcting them. Like, regardless of the argument, my mom will just pull out her iPhone and be like, don't be stupid. If you don't believe me, just ask Syria. It's cool. So I just broke up with my boyfriend, guys. Thank you. Oh, that's my first applause break. Great. He'll be so happy to find out. He's like, see what I did for you? Get out of here. No, yeah, he had a washer dryer in unit, so it's been a pretty tough adjustment. My ex-boyfriend was Dutch, like from the Netherlands, so he spoke English with a Dutch accent. So he like pronounced the letters TH as a D. So I never knew when he was baby talking me or not. He'd be like, Reem, what do you think about that? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that? And he's like, why are you talking like that? And you know, when you get caught, you try to divert attention. I was like, ooh. Green card, what do you think about that? Which that joke stopped working on him once he realized he wore the passport in the relationship. I don't really sit... Is anyone from Europe here? No? I don't think it's the black guy in the corner. He's lying. His name is Tehran. He's not from Europe. But, so I love Europeans. They're great. But they're like a little bit elitist about certain things, like their vacation days. He found out in America we get like 10 days for vacation. He's like, 10 10 days. In my country, we get 40 days. I was like, aw, babe, you're the type of lazy immigrant Trump is trying to protect us from. My parents are immigrants, it's fine. I was just in Europe, and I realized in their bathrooms, they don't have those paper toilet seat covers that we do here. And I was telling my ex-boyfriend about that, and he's like, oh, that's fine. When that happens, you just sit on your hands because you can't wash your butt, but you can wash your hands. I was like, no, you can wash your butt. And then your hands. You just gotta get the order right. You can even wash your front butt. My parents want me to marry an Arab, guys. I don't know. Like, I dabbled in the hummus once, just not for me. In college, I dated a guy named Jihad. Do you know how hard it is to break up with a guy named Jihad? Neither do I. He thinks I'm dead. Moving on. I did have a boyfriend try to cure me of my Islam once. That was fun. I was like in Spain, and wow, I travel a lot now that I'm speaking out loud. Anyway, so I was in Spain, and I was trying to explain to my boyfriend at the time, who he spoke like no English. The only thing he knew how to say in English was "Hello Kitty," which was a red flag I chose to just like look past. But so I was explaining to him in my like broken Spanish. I was like, "Look, I don't eat pork. It's not because I'm like super religious. I don't know. I know I won't like the taste of sin." And he took that as a challenge. And so we went on a picnic, and he was like, my mother, she made you these tapas. And I was like, oh, thank you. And I didn't think to ask what was in them because my favorite flavor is free. Yo, Costco samples all day. So like he gives me the tapas. I eat the tapas. He watches me eat the tapas. And he's like, what did you think of the tapas? I was like, they were cool. Why? And he's like, because it was blood sausage. I was like, what? Right. I was like, how did you skip every other level of pork and go straight for the devil's ding dong? Like, what? You don't think I would have wanted to have accidentally tried bacon? Or prosciutto? Or carnitas? Or al pastor? Or any other delicious level of pork that I secretly eat drunk? You really don't think I would have wanted to try that? Thanks, Oliver. You know, my parents, look, this is the thing with Arab parents. They just want you to be happy, as long as it also makes them happy. My mom's like, Reem, my bulk little paper, you can marry anyone you like, as long as he's Arab, and Muslim, and Iraqi, from the south of Iraq, where he lives by a river, and is a doctor, a neurologist, with an office in Encino. Maybe he drives a white BMW, but follow your heart in the direction of Mecca. You know, my parents, this is the thing, people think like immigrants are like storming the country. They're really not. Like my parents moved to this country as students, and they had like every intention of going back to Iraq. And then they discovered pizza and were like, let us build a life here. They don't have pepperoni in Baghdad, you know? And then they discovered pepperoni was pork. I was like, did you think it was a vegetable? Or, like, my dad's ordering pizza. He's like, yes, I'll have the mushroom and the pepper and the second pepper, the pepperoni. Yes, please. So I just came back from a tour in Palestine, guys, or Israel, depending on who's hiring me. And whenever you want me to say Shabbat Shalom. And it was funny, they had these like stickers that said Free Palestine on them. And I'm stupid, so I read it as Free Palestine. So I took the free stickers and I like walked away. And I got in trouble for it. Apparently there was like a limit. And then I'll end with this story. So there was some men. I had some suitors in Palestine, you know. I think they were very attracted to my green card. And I was in the airport and I was leaving, and one of my friends' friends is dropping us off. And he's like, I am going to miss you. And I was like, okay, great. I'll miss you too. That's nice. And he was like, will you think of me on the plane? I was like, probably not. They have great movie selections on Delta. But sure, yes. I was trying to like humor his heart. He's stuck there. I don't know. I was like, yes, I'll think of you on the plane. And he's like, but I want you to really remember me on the plane. So he got his cologne out and he sprayed me on my face in the airport. I was like, ah! Like, he marked his territory on me, guys. And I was kind of into it. I was like, I'm sorry to leave you here in this third world country. I have to go back to America. Bye. So with everything that's going on in the news these days, my parents are considering shipping me back to the Middle East for my safety. Which I was thinking about that. If it happens, wouldn't I kind of be like Will Smith in The Fresh Prince when he moves to Bel Air? But the reverse. I'm the Fresh Princess of Baghdad, guys. And I'll leave you with my theme song if you want to hear it. Yeah? Okay. In the Western Hemisphere, born and raised with the white kids is where I spent most of my days. My parents had an accent, which I thought was kind of cool. I used to brag all about it when I went to school. And then a billionaire guy who was up to no good started hating all minorities in the neighborhood. I marched at one little protest. My mom got scared and said, "You're moving back to Baghdad and you're covering your hair." All right, you guys have been great. Thank you so much. My name is Reem Edan. Give it up for Omid.
Come on, get over Reem Edan, everybody. I just got out of a relationship, too. No big deal, yeah. Oh, yeah. My girlfriend and I broke up. She told me she wanted to have kids when she's older and when she's with someone else, so... She was a Norwegian. We got any Norwegians in the house? Really? That's half the population of Norway right there, one person. It's just mountains over there. She loved it when I spoke Hindi to her in the bedroom. She was always like, "Baby, say something in Hindi." I'm like, "All right. $3.49 for regular unleaded." She's like, oh my God. We both live in Los Angeles, so we picked our actors that it's okay to sleep with if we get the chance. That's a very LA thing to do. She picked Ryan Gosling. I picked the girl in our building who was an extra on a TV show. I won. You guys are great. You ready for your next comedian? Come on, more energy. You ready? Put your hands together right now for Sahra Ali. There should be some intro music or something. Maybe I'll make up a song. Uptown Funk, don't funk you up. Uptown. Sahra Ali, everybody.
What's up, everybody? Hello. Thank you for coming out to the Santa Monica Pier. My name is Sahra. You guys have back-to-back lady comics on here. Yay, feminism. We're doing it. Okay, cool. We got some feminists in the house. Do we have any feminist dudes here? Where are the feminist dudes at? Don't be oh, okay. All right, single ladies, pay attention to this guy. Yeah, because this is the guy who doesn't pay for dinner. Ladies, are we over this bullshit yet? Just a little bit. Hey, I'm all for equality between men and women, but I'm also for not paying for things. You know, like why? Why do we have to do this now? You guys remember 40 years ago where, you know, if you were pretty, you didn't have to pay for anything? Can we go back to those days? Okay, I lost the audience. It's just hard because, like, you know, my mom, she taught me, she's like, okay, if you take care of yourself, if you're graceful, if you're good, if you're well-behaved, a nice man will marry you and pay for everything. And that did not happen. I'm just here alone by myself, like, what? I have to go to work again? I just went yesterday. What? I don't know. Some days I think some ugly woman made up feminism, you know? Yes, you know, you're with me, sister. Yes, some ugly woman made up feminism, and now we all gotta work hard. Thanks a lot, Susan B. Anthony. Go to hell. All right, I lost you all with the feminism bit. Oh well, it's fine. I know where I stand. All right, well, I feel like we're friends here. I can be personal with you guys. I turned 34 this year. Thank you. The ladies are so supportive. The guys are like, what? Never mind. I know, I look young. And ladies, we know this, right? The trick to looking young in your 30s is to wear a lot of sunscreen, drink a lot of water, and not be white. Basically, just don't be white. You'll be fine. I'm kidding. I love white people. You want to know why? I love white people because I spent all of Labor Day weekend on a boat. I love white people because you guys own boats. That's right. My cousin married a white guy, and he came with a boat. Did you know white guys come with boats? It's amazing. Get you a white guy. Oh, my God. It's great. It's a well-kept secret, ladies. Now you know. You're welcome. I don't know. But I like being in my 30s. It's kind of weird sometimes, though. Like, I'm in this weird age where I'm getting hit on by college guys and newly divorced Indian uncles. Anyone else? Anyone? You're also getting hit on by Rajiv at the bar? You too? All over, you know? They're like, hey, can I buy you a drink? Yeah, buy you a drink. I'm like, dude, I think I tutored your daughter last week. This is weird. It's hard out here, man. I don't know. But being in my 30s, I feel like now I have some knowledge and some wisdom to share with my fellow women in their 20s. Do we have women in their 20s here? Yes? Don't be shy. Okay, but in the back, yes, give it up to her. Yes, we got women in their 20s here, or as I like to call them, floozies. Because you know the girls in their 20s, they're all out here. They're like, yes, I'm in my 20s, hot girl summer, yes, feminism. This is feminism, yeah. So for the floozies in the house, and really anyone who needs to hear this is my advice to all the women in their 20s, and all the single women. Ladies, I want us all to aim higher, okay? Raise your standards. I want you to go find a guy who has a bed with a headboard. The grown-ups know what I'm talking about. Right, ladies? Because we've all been there, right? We've all been there. We know this. There's two types of guys in this world, right? There's guys who have headboard money and guys who do not have headboard money. You know? We've lived through this nightmare, right? When you walk into the guy's apartment and his mattress is on the floor with no headboard. Get out of there. Get out of there. You want to know why? Because he will cheat on you with a girl who has a better bed than he does. That's just science, you know. I don't know. Headboard money in 2019. That's my mantra. You know, that should be your mantra too. Do it, hipster. You should. It's just part of growing up, right? I don't know. Whenever I see a hipster with a beard, I get triggered, you know. Because, like, I'm just like, why are you guys growing these beards so long? Like, it's its own ecosystem, you know? Like, are you trying to grow your own girlfriend in there? Like, what's happening? Oh, this was your fault? Women, why are we doing this to our men? Why? Why? You know, there's just, like, a lot of stuff in there, you know? Okay, good. So that's, like, your thing. Okay, I don't need to know what you guys do in the bedroom, you know, but okay. I don't know. Whenever I see a big beard, I'm reminded of my dad because I have like a strict Muslim dad. He has a big beard, and whenever I see a big beard, I'm like, I get scared. I'm like, oh my god, I can't go to prom. What? You know. But no, I like being in my 30s. You know, I like giving advice to people and having standards now. Now that I'm in my 30s, I feel like I have standards too, right? Like I'm looking for a guy who has a membership to Costco. Who's got a Costco card? Come on. All right. We got Costco membership here, okay, right? Because the guy with the Costco card, that guy has family values, right? Yes, he's buying 4 bottles of ketchup at a time. That's commitment. He's not going anywhere. This is a Costco-loving couple. I love this Costco love. Yes, Costco love in 2020. That's what I'm voting for. Oh, man. I don't know. Like, I am out here. I'm husband shopping. Anyone else husband shopping? Yeah? Okay. The guys in the back. Yes, we know you're from West Hollywood and you're husband shopping. I know. Right? But single ladies, like, we gave up on finding a husband, right? Because that stuff doesn't happen anymore, right? That stuff only happens in, like, Milwaukee, you know? Like, no one. It's hard out here. It's hard. Oh, these guys are having a private conversation. Ladies, I'm with you, man. It's hard out here. You know, and my mom, she's like a very nice, conservative Pakistani lady, you know. She wants me to find a really nice, wholesome Muslim boy. Are there any Muslim boys here tonight? Exactly. They don't exist. Fox News was right. I'm looking, though. But my mom, she's like very sweet. Do we have moms in the audience tonight? Yeah? Where are the moms at? Oh, that's so sweet. We got moms here. That's so sweet. Thank you for coming out and supporting my comedy because God knows my mom doesn't. So thank you for that. You all are so sweet. Thank you. No, so, you know, my mom, she's pressuring me to get married. You know, like whatever I do, she brings it up. You know, are you doing this with your daughter? Good. You're a good one. No, like I'll be out to brunch with my girlfriends, right? And I'll post up a picture of my avocado toast on Instagram, #blessed, And she'll see it, she'll call me, she's like, Zara, what are you doing? I'm like, Mom, I'm at brunch with my girl. She's like, Zara, stop eating, get married. Stop eating, get married, stop eating, get married, stop eating, stop telling the boys how much you're eating. Stop eating, get married. I'm like, Mom, what? You moved here from a third world country so I can eat. What? So to make my mom happy, I found this new dating app to find a Muslim boy. It's called Minder. Has anyone heard of this? Yeah, Minder is the Muslim version of Tinder. It's a real thing, I swear. Look it up on the App Store, sister. Look it up now. Okay. So Minder, the Muslim version of Tinder, it's very easy to use. You swipe east if you like them. West if they're too modern for you. It's kind of annoying. I have to check it 5 times a day. All right, this side watches Homeland. Okay, the rest of you, I don't know. But Minder was cool. I finally matched with a guy. But then he blew up my phone. It's so hard out here. Okay, we like the Muslim jokes. Yes, this is all about equality here. That's great. I don't know, but you know what? I mean, I also go out to meet people, but I always get these weird pickup lines at the bar. Like the last pickup line I got was, hey there, I love Indian food. I'm like, what? You like Indian food? That's not flirting. That's a meal preference, Like, you wouldn't go up to a Latina and be like, hey, I like tacos. Let's try some of yours. He's looking at me like, oh, that's a good one. Can I use that? No, don't use that. But the best pickup line I've ever heard is, it's always from a veteran. He always comes up to me. There's always one vet in every bar because, PTSD. And there's always a veteran who comes up to me and he's like, hey, you want to see my weapon of mass destruction? I'm like, what? Weapon of mass destruction? What? No. You call it that because it's impossible to find? Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. Jesus. No, but I'm trying to find love, and I know I'm looking for love in all the wrong places. And I just want to offer advice to people so you all can find love too, So I gave advice to the women earlier. I'm going to give advice to the men now, okay? Are there millennial dudes here? I know you're a millennial. The beard says it all. But yeah, where are the other millennials at? We got millennials in the back? Oh my God, this is like full-on yacht club energy in the back. This is great. Bring your boat selves up front here, man. Come on, this is for you. I see you, Gilligan. Come on. Okay, so for all the dudes, this is for you, okay? I'm going to tell you a story, what happened to me today, and don't do this, feminist dude, okay? You got it? Okay, don't do this. All right. So I was at a coffee shop today, okay? I left the coffee shop, and this millennial dude, man bun and all, he followed me out of the coffee shop. And I'm like, all right, this is weird, but, I'll go to my car, he'll go to his car. It'll be fine, And I'm on Instagram the whole time as I'm walking my car because, I'm a millennial, I'm trying to be an Instagram model or whatever, So I'm walking to my car. 2 blocks later, I get to my car, and I was like, hey, what up, people? And I see on my phone, he's still behind me. So I look behind me, and I'm like, what, dude? What do you want? And the dude looks at me, and he's like, girl, you don't need Instagram. I'm following you right now. Don't do that. My name is Zahra Ali. Thank you so much. Give it up for your host, Omid Singh.
Come on, big round of applause. Zahra Ali, everybody. People behind the barrier, there are seats. If you're over 21 and you have your ID, you're welcome to come in. I see like 10 seats here. Come on in, take a seat. We got 2 comedians left. Crowd inside the barrier. You feeling good? Let's bring up your next comic. He has a great podcast called Spoil the Beans. Put your hands together right now for Ehsan Omid. Ehsan, Omid.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. All right, I'll tell you about me. I'm not Middle Eastern. Nobody believes me when I tell them, but I'm not. No one believes me. Like after shows, like Arab dudes will come up to me and be like, "Hey, man, I'm one of you. I get you too." And I have to look them in the face and be like, "Dude, I'm afraid of you too." I'm very racist, so if you could step back a little bit, I'd appreciate it. No one believes I'm not Middle Eastern. Even my good friends. I went to a childhood friend's wedding the other week, right? He sat next to me at the reception, some guy who worked at FBI counterterrorism, right? And that dude was just staring at me, and after a while, I had to be like, bro, I'll wear a backpack to this wedding if I want to. I'm not Middle Eastern. I get it, though. I have, like, this whole resting ISIS face thing going on. It's a terrible condition. I shaved 20 minutes ago. This is the first time I've ever been heckled by waves before. I don't know how to deal with that. It feels like God doesn't like my set. My parents are from this small country called Bangladesh, which, if you don't know where that is, that's cool. I tell people it's near India. What throws me off is I'll tell that to people who'll be like, oh, where's India? Right? Like, you should have a vague idea where India is, especially considering everyone in this room has been on the phone with someone from India. Right? Like, not knowing basic geography is like not knowing the floor plan of your own house, right? Like, it'd be weird if I went over to my buddy's place and was like, hey, man, I need to use your restroom. Where is it? And he was like, I don't know. I've never left the living room. Living room, living room, living room. And I'm proud to live in the living room where at least I can watch TV. Right, you'd be like, dude, living room's great, other room's still part of the house. You know what I mean? They have a lot to offer. For example, if you go upstairs, there's free healthcare. Downstairs, a lot of cocaine and sombreros. Great place to party. I went there in college a couple times. Everyone tells me that I'm white on the inside, which doesn't bother me. I just wish that's where it counted to be white. You know, like, I can't use that ever. Like, if I'm getting bad service at a restaurant, I can't be like, hey, can I speak to your manager? I'm white on the inside. Like, that doesn't work. But everyone tells me I am. Even my dad. My dad calls me a coconut. I'm like a weak dude in my dad's eyes, though. I'm like a really... Like, because my dad grew up in a very poor third world village, no running water and no electricity, and now is an aerospace engineer at NASA. He's kind of a dick, so relax. You don't know him. But because of that, we've had very different struggles. Like, when my dad was in his early 20s, he used to live in Libya under the dictatorship of Colonel Gaddafi. Yeah. When I was in my early 20s, I used to take 30-minute showers because I felt sad, you know? It's a different vibe, you know? There's certain things about American culture my dad gets and certain things he just doesn't. It's pretty funny. Like, my dad said his favorite artist when he first moved to America was Dolly Parton. Yeah. And he didn't even know she sang for the first couple of years. She just got them international things, baby. That's what she got. She got those help a young man move to America things. That's what she had. Certain things my dad don't get, though. Certain things are over his head, right? I went to a restaurant with my father recently, and at this restaurant, we had a server named Jimmy. And Jimmy wasn't all there mentally, right? So I asked my dad, I was like, hey, Dad, do you think Jimmy is autistic? And my dad looked at him and went, no, I think he's Vietnamese. And that's not a racist thing. Jimmy was Vietnamese. I asked, my dad just doesn't know what autistic people are. Because autism is like a very first world diagnosis. You feel me? Like, there was no autistic kid in my dad's village. The autistic kid in my dad's village was just that weird dude who didn't help get water, you know? Like, so my dad has no idea what autism is, which is crazy because he works at NASA. Do you feel what I'm saying? What I'm saying is my dad must think he works heavily with the Vietnamese community. And if you met my dad, you'd be like, oh, this guy's on the Vietnamese spectrum himself. He's got a lot of Saigon in him, he does. Yeah, autism, I guess, I don't know. I get into arguments all the time with my dad, all the time, right? And he says the same things to me constantly. He'd be like, Ehsan, you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You don't know the kind of poverty that I grew up in. And I go, Dad, that's your fault. You're the one who couldn't handle it over there and want a better life for your kids. Don't put that on me. And I shouldn't yell at my dad like that, but I'm white on the inside, so. I have a little sister, right? She's 10 years younger than me. And my sister is a drama nerd. And I like going to all my sister's school plays. She's in high school right now. I love going to all her school plays because my sister's school is 90% Asian and 10% white. So because of that weird racial breakdown, my sister's school doesn't really care about race when they're casting for parts in the school play. And it could lead to some interesting situations. Like last spring, my sister's school put on a production of The Sound of Music. And a couple of you already know. For those of you who don't, The Sound of Music has a lot of Nazis in it. And you have not lived until you've seen an Indian kid in full Nazi uniform heil to a Chinese kid who heils back. And everyone in the audience is just like, yeah, this is art. Dude, I started laughing out loud. I was the only one. I looked around like, okay, so we're all pretending this isn't the funniest thing we've ever seen. I got it. Real swastikas, too. Real swastikas on their armbands, real swastikas painted all over the walls. It was the only place in America where a social justice warrior and a white supremacist would have been mad about the exact same things. I like the fact that they use real swastikas, too, because, like, I'm a big history guy, and I don't like when people whitewash history because it's offensive. Like, it happened, it's important we see it, right? And so I went up to the drama teacher afterwards, and I shook her hand, and I was like, thank you for using real swastikas. And she was like, what? Then I was like, oh, yeah, that's an inappropriate way to start a conversation, huh? I should. I often think, like, what Hitler would think if he saw that play. And I think the white power side of him would have been really angry. But the artist side of him would have been like, oh, they stuck to the source material, you know? I'm not that afraid of white supremacy. Not really. Like, individually, yes, I know I can get messed up. If there's any white supremacists in the room, know that I'm very weak, I don't fight back, and I hang easy. You all you want, but you gotta talk to white supremacists in the room. If they feel hurt, they don't do anything crazy. Right, hit with one person. But I'm not that afraid of white power. Like, as an ideology, white power is not that scary, right? Because the two main symbols of white power in this country are the Confederate flag and the swastika. Historically, two very big losers. You know? Like, I would be afraid of the KKK if their next meeting, instead of giant crosses, they burned like a giant Yankees logo. And instead of robes and a hood, they wore like Kobe jerseys and Patriots helmets. They'd be like, oh, damn. That's a lot of championships. I think they're here to win this time. But until then, it's not that scary, dude. It's not. Like, dude, Walmart stopped selling the Confederate flag, and when I read that, I was like, damn, Walmart, I don't think you understand your target demographic. I'm a big sports fan. I don't know. Football is my favorite sport. Football's starting up again. It's cool. I find though, like the older I get, the softer football is getting as a sport. To the point where I wouldn't be surprised if I turn on a game next season and I'm watching it with a friend, and I was like, "Hey, dude, why is there a small dog on the field?" And my friend would be like, "Oh, well, Tom Brady gets anxious on third downs, so." That's his emotional support chihuahua. It's hard to watch football though. It's like really political now. Like they tried to ban kneeling for the anthem last year. And feel about that how you feel about that. I have a friend who's a black nationalist, very bad at it. And he was telling me that any black athlete that doesn't kneel for the anthem is a sellout to his race. And Rosa Parks would have never sold out her race like that. And I was like, dude, do you believe that honestly? That's a much different situation, you know? Do you think Rosa Parks would have done what she did if the Montgomery Bus Company offered her a 5-year, $80 million contract? You think she would have stuck to her guns? You know, I don't know, maybe she would. I'm just saying I would sell out my people for a whole lot less. I know that for a fact. If you told me the way to become the greatest comedian of all time is I just had to jump up here and be like, "Hello, everybody," and then play the flute, and then a snake would pop out of my turban and just shoot curry at people, dude. I would do that in an instant. Are you kidding me? Screw my people. Give me money. That's why I moved to Los Angeles. I had to shave my head recently because my hairline's trash. And so I have what I like to describe as a French hairline in the sense that it is rapidly retreating. I started losing my hair too at 19 years old, which was God's way of saying, "Hey man, you better be funny." You don't got many options outside of that. You're short, it's not gonna work out, man. 19. I'd be in such deep denial over it. I'd wake up and there'd be a bunch of hair on my pillow, and then I would just convince myself that that was normal. I'd be like, "Oh, that's just my baby hair falling out," and then my adult hair will come in later, you know? If you take a bunch of your baby hair, put it under your pillow at night, the hair fairy comes and visits you, and you wake up with no confidence. That's how that works. I'm losing it weird, too. Like, I'm like, the sides are staying, but the middle is going, so like, in like 5 years, I'll have like that George Costanza cul-de-sac thing going on up here, and this doesn't look good. I wear hats now. I don't know. I didn't hear what you said, but I'm sure it was smart. That was unnecessarily mean, huh? I thought you guys would be with me when I was mean to her, and you guys definitely weren't. You guys were like, "Ooh, don't, come on." Clearly, like, her energy is so nice, and she's so sweet, and I was just like, "Yeah." All right. I got a couple more things to talk about. I'm Muslim, I guess. Am I? Oh, you know. Do you know? Because I don't. I'm very Catholic about being Muslim. Like I'm Muslim in name, but I only show up to mosque on the important holidays like Easter, you know. And they get very confused every time I show up. They're like, "Hey, man, you know we don't celebrate this, right?" And I'm like, "Well, I hid all these eggs, so." Here's the reality. The only reason I still call myself a Muslim is to keep my foot in the door, just in case that's the right one. You feel me? Like right now, I'm living how I'm living, but if Judgment Day shows up, I could just be like, "Oh, salam alaikum, bitches, been here the whole time." And if it doesn't happen, well, thank God I'm eating all this bacon, you know? I'm not about to screw up my breakfast for God. Get out of here. I know nothing about Islam, by the way. I know nothing. And people ask me questions all the time, so I just make stuff up. When's Ramadan? Oh, it's actually the same month as Toyotathon. They actually run at the same time, yeah. That's why ISIS has all those Toyota trucks. It's the Ramadan bunny comes around and gives terrorists tundras. That's how we celebrate that holiday. What's a Shiite Muslim? Oh, that's someone who celebrates Ramadan during Happy Honda days. That's the difference. That's why we fight. Certain things I've noticed I can't do in these modern times because of my faith. Certain things, you know. For example, I can't count down in public anymore. I don't get invited to New Year's Eve parties, you know, because as soon as that ball starts dropping, people start freaking out, you know. I'm just like, calm down, everybody. I'll wear a backpack to this party if I want to. If it was good enough for the wedding, it's good enough here. All right, I'll leave you with this. Let's see how this. I have one more joke about autistic people, so let's see how this lands. All right, I could be wrong about this. But I have noticed through my general observation that a fair amount of autistic white men end up with Asian women. And I think it's a no eye contact thing. And that's all I have to say about that. I've been Ehsan Ahmad. Thank you very much.
Come on, give it up for Ehsan Ahmad. He's going to be canceled tomorrow. No one's going to... That was Ehsan's last show ever. He's going to jump into the water right now. All right, guys. We've reached that part of the show. Your headliner. You ready for your headliner? Put your hands together right now for my friend Tehran. Tehran. Tehran.
Well, I don't have any autism jokes, so I don't know how this is going to go. It's funny. And Ehsan, I'm going to be honest, I didn't know you're not Middle Eastern either, but you were like, I'm from Bangladesh, and I'm like, nigga, that's Middle Eastern. Like, you're like Arab 2.0, bro. Why are you trying to hide it? Like, you said I'm not Middle Eastern. Like, I thought you were going to say you're black and white, and then you were like, I'm from Bangladesh, and my dad's in NASA, and I'm like, you're Osama bin Laden, bro. Like, you're... Like, that's... And then, this show's good. Yo, my boy Omid put this together. That's my brother, man. I love Omid. And Omid can't say things like, I'm not Middle Eastern. Like, your face, bro? You have terrorism face, bro. Like, no offense. I said no offense, but you do. Like honestly, if you leave all of a sudden, we are all leaving too. Like, we're not just gonna sit behind and see what backpack you and Ehsan Ahmad wore to the wedding. Like, you guys are laughing, but if he goes right now to the Wetzel's Pretzels and goes, Allah Akbar, we're running. Like, we're not just sticking around. And then we had, Sahra and Reem. We had look, it's a Middle Eastern festival, and we had 2 Middle Eastern women on the show holding it down. That's what happens when you let them drive. No, we can't. No, I'm kidding. I don't write the rules. I just read them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have a Middle Eastern festival, so now today they have all these Middle Eastern comics. And then my name's Tehran, and I'm a black guy performing for Middle Eastern people at Santa Monica Pier. I'm lucky to be alive. Like, I'm just happy to be here. They thought, Tehran, that's a Middle Eastern name. They're going to be surprised when my cousin Rosh Hashanah's not Jewish. They're going to be like, ah. No, I'm look, unlike Ehsan, I own it. I'm half Middle Eastern, half black American. Like, my dad's Iranian. Yeah, no, don't clap. I don't want to get deported with the rest of you. No. Hey, my dude, us white people need to stick together, bro. I'm in it with you, John. Me and John, bro. John. Is your name John? Steve, Tom, Mike, Mark, Gary, Larry, Barry, Harry, Dan, Stan, Michael, Kevin. The way you said Chad was racist. I'm not gonna lie, ma'am. The way you said Chad didn't come from a good place. Chad sounds like the guy with the man bun that screwed you over. You were like, Chad. What is your name, sir? Your name's Al? I threw out all these stereotypical white names and you were like, no, whiter. Like you out whiter? He just out-whited anything I could have thought of. Like, he's like, it's Al. Which, by the way, in this crowd is short for Ali. And that's why that's even funnier, bro. That's amazing. What's your last name, Al? No, it's just a group. Look, this is just us. We're just here. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to tell us his last name? Oh, you don't? It's Gilbert? Yo, that's what's up. Snitches get stitches, Wyatt. I'm just letting you know. Is it Al Gilbert? But that's cool because that just means you get every job you apply for, bro. Like, you just show up. They're like, bring in Al Gilbert. He's the guy. That's what's up. Look, your grandma's an immigrant. I appreciate that. That's what's up, Al. Oh, and you're part native? That's amazing. I love when people like you go. No, I don't like... The thing about it, I don't even like stereotypes. That's why I appreciate it. And I love how you're like, you're also a minority. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. But you look white. Like, we're all here. Yeah, and he got a brown girlfriend. He's got a brown girlfriend. But I bet you if we were in a car and a cop pulled us over and was like, get on the floor, Blackie, you'd look at me like, you better get on the floor. Like, you're not getting on the floor with me. You're like, yo. Ow. I just think it's interesting. So I'm half Iranian, half black, which in America right now is half Negro, half terrorist. So carjack, hijack, I'm capable of anything. They're just... President Trump's tweeting about me right now. Like, where is this Santa Monica Pier? And the funny thing, okay, you guys want to make it even crazier? I'm going to make it even crazier. So on my dad's side, he's Iranian, right? So he's Persian. My grandmother... On his side, Zoroastrian. My grandfather, Muslim. On my mom's side, she's black. My grandfather was Baptist. My grandmother was still alive, is Jewish. Wow. I was circumcised 14 times. Do you understand? When I hear Shabbat Shalom, I go like this. Like, these aren't jokes. This is my life. Like, But I find that's why I like people like Al, because they're just human beings. We're all just human beings. Everybody likes to point and put people in boxes. Boxes are meant for things and not people. We don't know each other. I don't know Al. I don't know anything about Al Gilbert, where he's from. Where are you from, Al? You're from the West Side? That's right, Los Angeles, bro. What's your social security number, bro? Like, no, I'm kidding. I'm not even Armenian. I'm kidding. No. No, because in LA, you have a lot of different ethnicities. And that's why, look at this crowd right now, how diverse this place looks. I wasn't expecting this. Look at this. It's people who might not be sitting in the same room, all at the same place. And it's amazing. Who thought that this many people of different ethnicities all came to the beach? I didn't. Twilight series. That's why things like this are so important. And when I brought, are there any Armenian people here right now? All right, good. Let's talk about them. Listen, here's the thing. No, I'm going to throw out my best friend's Armenian. So I respect it. Armenians are a good, amazing group of people. I watched the Netflix special. I know everything. Armenians are an amazing group of people. They're ancient culture. A lot of people confuse Armenians and Persians all the time. Persians, people know Persian Empire and everything, but no, Armenians are an amazing group of people, ancient culture from the East, 134 East Glendale. I don't know how it's possible, but they all just live in Glendale. The capital of Armenia is the Glendale Galleria, I swear. And somehow they all work at every Wells Fargo I walk into. It's amazing. You walk in and the greeters is like, you walk in, go, hurry, go. And I'm like, that's the girls who talk like that. Why are you so aggressive? I will say this. My best friend, Gergen, he's Armenian. I'm from Washington, D.C. We don't have, we have diversity. Yeah, DMV. Yeah, throwing out all the gang signs, you two. You guys know everything. DMV, West Coast, L gang, I get it. I'm from Washington, D.C., which is diverse, but here in L.A., it's very diverse. It's very diverse. And that's why my best friend, Armenian, Gergen, he's such a good guy. And I'll tell you something about Armenians people don't realize. They have the best hookup on the planet. The best hookup is the Armenian. Everybody thinks that they have the best hookup. They don't. White people have the worst hookup. No offense, sir, but you guys don't get hookups. What do you guys have coupons. You don't have anything like... The Persian hookup is good, except it's not worth whatever it is that you're getting hooked up on. Because now you owe that person for the rest of your life. Like, you owe them for the rest, like, hey, remember that time I gave you 10% off at Best Buy? Yeah, I need your kidney. That's not how a discount works. The Armenian hookup is the best. It's the best. Because it's a little shady. Just don't ask questions. Just do what they say. Don't ask. I needed to buy 4 tires for my car. I did. I paid $250 a tire. It's a BMW. I'm half Persian. It's nice. So I paid $1,000 for tires. And Gergen had a heart attack for me. He's like, bro, are you stupid? I was like, what? He's like, bro, you paid $1,000 for tires? I was like, yeah. He's like, you could have got Armenian hookup, bro. And I was like, how much could you have got me all 4 tires for, Gergen? And he looked me dead in the eye. And he said, bro, I could have got you all 4 tires? $35, bro. That's what he said. $35, bro. He said $35. And I was like, Gergen, that's impossible. And he's like, no, bro. You have to do Armenian way for the hookup. Next time you need tire for your car, Armenian hookup. You go to Enterprise. You get car like your car. You bring home. You take tire off Enterprise car. You put on your car. Enterprise gets surprise. You get 4 tires, $35, bro. That's the Armenian way. You know why that's even funnier? When I do this joke in Beverly Hills, all my Persian Jew friends are like, yo, that's a good idea, vibing. That's brilliant. We need to do this. That's why I appreciate the absurdity of stereotypes, especially when brought out in comedy. Comedy is about bringing people together. That's why. I don't make fun of people. I have fun with people. There's a difference. And it comes from a good place. Because when you bring these things and bring them to light and make sure everyone knows that everyone gets made fun of equally, even autistic Vietnamese people, then you realize we're in a good place. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw when Ehsan was doing the Asian jokes, I saw the Asian people in the crowd and they were laughing because they knew it wasn't real. And I'm not saying you guys are Vietnamese. I don't know what, I'm just saying that when they said Vietnamese, everybody turned around and looked at y'all and we're like, and it's messed up because we don't know anything about you, bro. You're a good person. I don't know anything about you. People stereotype Asians all the time, and they're stupid because Asian stereotypes are just the worst. Like, what is your name, sir? Vu? Okay, I'm trying to break stereotypes, my bro. You couldn't have been like, I'm Ryan. You couldn't have just been like, you couldn't have just lied that 1 second. Like, I'm Ryan. I don't do math. Like, you could have said anything. You could have said anything. Like, what do you do for a living, Vu? What is it? Oh my gosh, environment, health, and safety. Yeah, he recycles all the time, you know what I'm saying? That's his job, he recycles professionally. Yo, when you say environmental health and safety, you're not the guy that goes through my trash and takes my plastic bottles. Okay. I'm just making sure. This is LA, because people use big titles for crappy jobs all the time. My Uber driver today was a transportation specialist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But that's what I mean, man. We don't know anything about you. That's an amazing job. Look at you. You know what I'm saying? You're just a good person. You're not an Asian person. You're a good person. Before you wake up, when you wake up in the morning, you're not like, oh, I'm Asian. I'm Vu. You're just like, yo, I'm a good guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm recycling all the time. I love it, man. Good for you. We don't know. People stereotype all the time. Like you might not be good at math. You might not take pictures at the mall for no reason. I don't know. I don't know. Because that's just a people thing to do. It has nothing to do with your ethnicity. We need to stop that. Like you're not a ninja. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys laugh, but honestly, if you were about to fight Vu, and he was like, "Whoa," you'd back up. Why? Because that's what you think. But it's wrong. You have to break these stereotypes, man. Stereotypes are stupid. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, Vu. Thank you, Vu, for being here. You and your girl, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here, bro. No, I mean, thank you for being here and not out there driving. Because let's be honest, no, that's wrong. That one's inappropriate. That's inappropriate. That one's inappropriate. Omid's like, we're getting canceled, bro. We can't do that. You just gotta stop. You gotta stop like, yo, just let people be people. We're all here. Everyone's a good person. Everyone is a good person or a bad person. It depends on who they are. Everyone, except for vegans. And listen, I know, vegans, but you guys think you're better than us and you're not. You're not better. You guys are like, yeah, we're better because we watched the documentary and the meat is murder. You're not better than us because lettuce doesn't scream. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're killing stuff too. Did you watch this documentary? No, I was too busy eating a hamburger. You guys vegans? Where are the vegans? The vegans? Yeah, see, all the way. Yeah, that's all the energy you had. You know what I'm saying? It's all the energy. Yeah. Oh my God, what am I doing? It's all the energy you had, bro. That's it. Yeah. Look, I respect the lifestyle. I just don't want, I don't like when people impose their beliefs on me. And when it comes to like vegans try to impose their belief on you. They try to trick you. My best friend, Gergen's a vegan. He's an Armenian vegan. And I was at his house watching football, eating chicken wings. That's sacred to my people. And he came around the corner and was like, aren't they delicious? And I was like, yeah, they're good. Why? And he goes, because they're not chicken wings. They're tofu wings, and you couldn't tell the difference. And immediately I started throwing up in my mouth. Do you understand? You tricked me. I've never once invited him to my house and been like, hey, Gergen, you want some carrot cake? Oh, yeah. Is it delicious? Panda meat, bro. Like, I've never tricked him into eating. I've never tricked him. I was with Reem. I went with Reem to Israel and Palestine. We had a good time. And here's the thing. We went to, when I say Israel and Palestine, because the conflict, we got to figure this out. It's two groups of people that are like the same person. Just somebody told one, you wear a kippah, you wear a turban, you don't know. And it was crazy because it was so beautiful there. It was so beautiful there. And then they were all, it was the food. The food was amazing. I don't know if you guys have ever had a shawarma, but you've never had a shawarma until you've had a shawarma in Israel and Palestine. Like, that's a real shawarma. That's like, and here's, at first, I wasn't trying to eat the food. Because when you go to these places, it's not like there's a restaurant and there's a sink and the guy's washing his hands. No, it's like some old guy was, hey, you want shawarma? Here's the shawarma. Shawarma. Eat the shawarma. It was like, yo, that's nasty. But then one time I was hungry, and they were like, just try the shawarma. And it was like some old guy, like, eat, trust me, shawarma. And I ate some, and it was delicious. And I realized the older, the nastier, the sweatier the guy, the better the shawarma. Like, so I started going like, yo, I was at the shawarma place. The dude used hand sanitizer, and I was like, no. I need spit. I need the sweat. Wipe the bread on your face. Wipe it on everything. I need that shawarma. I don't want the clean shawarma. I want the nasty shawarma. A lot of people, because when we go to the Middle East, I was just I was just there. I was in everywhere. I was in Saudi Arabia. I was in Lebanon, Beirut, Lebanon. I was in Dubai, Israel, and Palestine. Here's a lot of people think it's so different in the Middle East than it is here, and it's not. Like I said, people are just people no matter where you go. They just want to be loved, and they just want to be validated, and they talk about the same stuff, and you know, relationships suck over there too. Like it's. But there are some differences. They have things we don't have, like amazing shawarma. But we have things in America that they don't have in the Middle East too. Like in America, we have these things called laws. And in the Middle East, they just have suggestions. Like it wasn't, like in America, a stop sign means stop. In the Middle East, they're like, stop, shoo, yani, stop. And they kept driving. I get out of the airport, and the taxi drivers are so aggressive, and they're like, yalla, yalla, we're late. Yalla, let's go. Yalla, yalla, we're late. Let's go, let's go. I was like, yalla, let's go. You don't even know where we're going. What do you mean we're late? We get in the taxi cab, and he's driving. Okay, in America, 2 lanes, 2 cars. That makes sense. Like there's 2 lanes. There are 2 cars. In the Middle East, 2 lanes, 6 cars, 3 camels, 2 goats, some guy selling you water in the middle of the street. I don't even know where he came from. He's like, would you like some water? I don't know. Like, and the taxi driver's still driving fast somehow. He's driving fast. He's driving like James Harden to the lane. Like, he's like, I said, okay, no offense. I said the whitest thing I've ever said in my life. He was driving fast. And I looked at him, I was like, excuse me, sir. Muhammad? Yeah. Can I have a seatbelt? I asked for a seatbelt. I asked for a seatbelt. And he looked at me like he'd never shoo yani seatbelt. Seatbelt, what seatbelt? I was like, seatbelt? Seatbelt? And he was like, you can have my belt. That's what he said. And everybody smokes. Everybody smokes in the Middle East. Everyone smokes. Every single person in the Middle East smokes. And when they speak Arabic, it makes their voice hard. They're like, bedakhin, that's what smoking. You would think there's enough ways to die in the Middle East, but they're like, no, we need one more. And they added smoking. And everyone gets mad. They're like, bedakhin. And I was like, I don't bedakhin. And they get mad. They're like, no, you bedakhin. Everybody bedakhin. You don't bedakhin? Come on, bedakhin. Everybody's doing it. I felt like I was getting initiated. Like, no, I don't want to join. And everybody in the Middle East, no matter what, young, old, everyone works. Kids, grown-ups, old, everyone works, but no one has a job. I don't know how to explain it. You'd be like, oh, what you do today? I was working all day. Oh, what's your job? Ooh. What do you mean? What is your job? Ooh. And the directions. They give the worst directions in the world. They never know where anything is. Like, you can't name a street, but they're like, oh, you have to go to the mall? Okay. Go. You go. Then you go. And then go. Mall. Like, that's not directions. Those aren't directions. What mall am I going to? Where was that? And it's so hot. It's so hot sometimes. Like today, we thought it was hot. No, it's not Middle East hot. It was so hot, like camels look at you like, like I was drinking water and a tree was like, nigga, let me get some. Like I was like, and they're kids. These kids, they're kids. Their kids never go home. I'm serious. This is 3, 4 in the morning. The kids are just walking around the streets. You've seen it. They just go, like, they never go home. It's safe because it's so safe. But the kids never go home. The kids never go home. I saw a little kid, 4 years old. It was 4 in the morning. I felt concerned. So I went to the guy. I was like, hello, hi. Hi, you need to go home. Go home. He's like, no, I can't. Why? I'm working. You're working? What do you do? I drive the taxi. You drive a taxi? Yes, bedachen, bedachen. But I'll tell you something real. Middle Eastern women are beautiful. Beautiful women. They're beautiful. Like, I was very impressed. Like, and when I was in Saudi Arabia, so many good-looking women. I mean, at least from here to here, it was, I didn't see, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but your eyes, though, you know? It's just interesting. It's interesting. That's why I was so impressed when Santa Monica did this concert series. Like, it's bringing people here. Because when you come back to America, people ask you so many questions about the Middle East, and it's crazy. And then one thing they say is like, oh, Middle Eastern women, they're subservient. No, no. No, God, no, no, no. Or I should, Allah, no, no, no. No, they think like the women walk behind the men. That's what they say. Oh, the women walk. They don't. Middle Eastern women are strong, beautiful, amazing women. They walk beside the men. And to be honest, in the Middle East, it's the women who lead the way, yo. The women. Yeah. Because there's a lot of landmines in the Middle East. That's why you can have 4 wives. It's like, oh no, there goes Khadija. Bring me Fatima. Fatima, come, come, come. Come, no, no, no. Go, you go. Bedachen, go, go. Go, go. Here's the thing you should take into account. Omid, my buddy, that's his mom. His mom's here. She's amazing. I love it. I love you. I love you. His mom's my favorite person, the mom. Persian. And then dad was Indian. Dad was Indian. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you're Ehsan Ahmed. You know what I'm saying? Like you. But I'll tell you, you should date someone of a different culture. Honestly, you should. You should owl it up. You should owl it up. This is what it is. Look, 3 years. There are 3 years. 3 years in LA? That deserves way more applause. Honestly, that's... Because in LA, every year of a relationship should count like dog years. That's amazing. That's 21 years anywhere else. You understand? We have options in LA. You don't have options other places. That's amazing. There was a couple here. I was at, where was I? Laugh Factory. And they were in the front, and they've been married 43 years. And everybody clapped, and it was so beautiful, because love is like the most important thing. 43 years, everyone clapped, and I was like, where are you guys from? And then the guy with pride was like, Kentucky. I was like, of course you've been married 43 years in Kentucky. You don't have options in Kentucky. I've never heard a rapper be like, yo, but them Kentucky hoes, like, that's not a thing. Like, that's not even a thing that's talked about, like. Good for you. That's that love. That love is gonna solve the world problem. I dated a girl, she was Indian. You know what I'm saying? I loved her. I'm single now. She was crazy, but I learned so much. And that's the thing, you learn. When you're just around people, just be around people. You learn about them. You learn. And honestly, if you're around people long enough, you won't hate them for what they are. You'll just hate them for who they are. Like it's, trust me, you will hate everybody like, oh my gosh. I learned so much about Indian, like there's different types of Indian, the cultures. I learned about Indian people. I learned about Indian language. I learned about the language. I learned about Indian food. I learned about Indian food. I learned about diarrhea. I learned so much, like, but she did, okay. This is just us. I feel like we're family now. We're family. I'll tell you, she did this thing, and I know people think women do this all the time, but that's not the case. She would ask me so many questions, and she would remember my answer forever, and she would bring it up and use it against me all the time. Sometimes she'd ask me so many questions, I'd be like, I don't feel comfortable, I need my lawyer. Like I was going crazy. And I kept getting mad at her because she would be like, that's not what you said. This is what you said. That's not what happened. This is what happened. She would remember everything. And I got so mad. And I realized it's not her, it's her culture. Indian women in their culture, they remember everything you say. Every word, every small detail, every piece of information. Yeah, they remember everything. That's why they all have that red dot on their forehead. She was recording me every time I spoke. Like, can I live? Can I live? The only thing you can do in the world right now is have fun. You can have fun with this stuff. You can have fun with this stuff. Because if you don't, you'll cry. Like, honestly, I don't care what's going on in politics. Everyone loves getting mad about politics. Let me explain something and this is my opinion. I don't care right wing, left wing. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care. Right wing, left wing, same bird. We're all in this together. Like, the sooner we learn that, the better off we are. Stop getting mad at people for their politics. It's about principles. It's about principles. My dad's Iranian, like, it's about principles. And I'll tell you, so much racism in the world. That's why I like looking at this crowd, just beautiful people just having a good time at Santa Monica Pier, bro. Just having a good time. So many people. Like, did you know they invented an app? Did you know they invented an app that tells you if people are racist? Yeah, no, I'm serious. It's called Facebook. And all you have to do is read people's statuses, and you're like, what? There was a status I read recently, okay? It was a status. It said, not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslim. I know. And it was Fox News, they put that up, and then I don't judge. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a judgmental person. So I responded on my Facebook post. I wrote, in a time of tragedy, fear and hate is not the answer. Love is the solution to all the world's problems. Love. My man Vu, he's in love. You know what I'm saying? My man Al is in love. My man right here, single as F, but whatever, bro. The love is in your heart. You know what I'm saying? I got a girl named Reem. Okay, never mind. So listen. Her parents want her to get married ASAP. Like, so I posted that on my post. Love, in a time of tragedy and fear, hate is not the solution. Love, the solution is love. And the first response I got, go back to your country. You guys are laughing, but like, yo, this is somebody, they meant it. Like, they meant all capital letters. Go back to your country. And look, Persian dad, black mom, like, where do I go? Nobody wants me. Like, go back to your country. And that's what they meant. And this is what I'm talking about. And when things like this happen, okay, I didn't want to respond. Because I was mad, I was sad. This is someone I know, or at least I thought I knew. I've known this person my whole life, by the way. My whole life, I've known this person. And they wrote, go back to your country. And they meant it. 3 exclamation points. They meant it. I didn't respond. I didn't respond on Facebook. I didn't want to give them the satisfaction. But I'll tell you something. When you see injustice, when you see something, say something. You speak up. You speak up. So I didn't respond on Facebook, but I called him. And I wanted to stop it right there. I called him. And I was like, hey, Dad, you can't write this stuff on my Facebook. And he's the Persian one. And he was like, go back to your country and take your black mother with you. I'm like, what? Guys, my name's Tehran. Find me on social media. I got name Shnasi Beshnas.
Come on, put your hands together for Tehran, everybody. One more time for all the comedians you've seen tonight. Our bartenders. There's a lot of people to thank for this show. You know we're doing it every Wednesday here, so there's going to be 3 more shows. Come on back. Come on back to the show. My name is Omid Singh. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. See you later.